ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुगतं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. I welcome you all with my love and respects. See, to tell you honestly, Himalayas is my life. I can say the whole transformation, the whole process which happened in me, the whole thing happened in Himalayas only. I can say I vow the whole thing to Himalayas. It is Himalayas which did the whole thing. And when Krishna says, I am the Himalayas among the Achalas, I think Himalayas can only be experienced. It can't be spoken. It's just like enlightenment. Himalayas is just like enlightenment. You can't speak about it. You can only experience it. And that is the land where this whole inner science is developed, created, the research and development happened, and the final product came out. The whole thing happened in Himalayas only. So that is the first and ultimate inner science laboratory where the great research and development in the field of inner science happened. I think at least last 20,000 years, even though the idiotic Western historians go on repeating, only 4,000 years ago the human society is created, but these historians, they go on twisting the things and abusing this great Eastern science and culture. At least last 10,000 years, the research and development in the inner science is happening in these great Himalayas. And you will see how every inch is associated with the divine. In India, every inch is a divine. Every inch is associated with spirituality. And it is just lifestyle. I always tell people, some born blind man, if somebody is blind from birth, you can't make him understand what he is missing. Same way, if somebody has not seen Himalayas, you can't explain to him what he is missing. If he is born blind, one major dimension of his life is missing. Just like that, if you have not seen Himalayas, one dimension of your consciousness you are missing. A possibility which can happen in you, one dimension of conscious possibility is missing. Anything can be missed by a seeker, but not Himalayas. Anything can be missed by a seeker in his life, but not Himalayas. And this is the great land where from time immemorial, this great inner science is created and the research is done, the development went on and the products came out, and again further research and development on the product happened. I can say, if you remove Himalayas, no spirituality on the planet Earth. No spirituality on the planet Earth. But for Himalayas, no inner science on the planet Earth. That is the holy land, place where the whole thing happened. And let me be very honest, except Vedic science, there is no other religion on the planet Earth. All other religions are just a social system. How many wives you can marry, how many times you have to fall down, how many times you can roll on the ground, in which hand you can eat, and how many times you have to wash your hand, and where you can wipe your hand. That is the other religions. These are all other religions are only Vidhi and Nisheda, means do's and don'ts. The only religion is from Vedic seers, Vedic rishis. Only they worked on the inner consciousness. Nobody else neither had the courage nor had the technique to dive deep into the inner consciousness. Vedic masters are the only religious group or spiritual group on the planet Earth. From them, many people have learned the science, that is true. But it's originated from them. Please do not think I am a fanatic. I am stating a simple fact. If you think I am fanatic, it is up to you. I have no problem. I have no problem. But I am stating a simple fact straight away to you. Trusting that you all understand the truth. Always kids needs to have a life. They can't live with the truth. That is why so much of fairy tales. In every culture, so much of fairy tales. Why? Because kids cannot cope up with reality. They need a buffer. See, like a buffer spring. In every car there will be a buffer spring, so that the shock will not be directly transmitted to you. The shocks which happen in the road will not reach you. You will be safe. Same way, kids also need some imagination and fantasies and stories to cope up with reality. They can't directly handle the reality. They need a buffer story, the buffer spring. Stories as buffer spring. Here I am not going to give you any buffer spring. I am straight away telling you the truth. The Vedic seers are the only people who can be called as religious or spiritual. All other fellows going on talking, how many times you can marry, or how you will do divorce, or how many times you have to bend down or stand up, or how many times you have to wash your hand. This is the only thing they go on talking, nothing else. And that is no way called, that is nothing to do with religion. And what if you do this, it is a sin. If you do this, it is a merit. And if you do this, you will have a heaven. If you do that, you will have eternal hell. What nonsense is eternal hell? See, there is no such thing as eternal hell. Let you be very clear. Even if you do all sins possible for in the life of 100 years, you can be put only 100 years hell. How can you be put in eternal hell? That's a foolishness. What to tell about Himalayas? This is the land where this great science is created. The great science which is keeping planet Earth still alive. Understand, if at all this great science did not happen on the planet Earth, be very clear, long before these barbaric politicians would have destroyed the planet Earth. First time on the planet Earth, a system is created where neither physically nor psychologically people were enslaved. Understand, there are three kinds of people. One, politicians who enslave you physically. Next, these dramatists, cine artists who feed fantasies in your head and keep you psychologically slave. All these producers, cine producers, I always tell them, they are dream sellers. They sell the dreams and keep you under their control, constantly feeding you with fantasies and destroying your real life. The third group, so-called religious figures or so-called priests, go on constantly teaching you fear and guilt, fear and greed, and keep you spiritually under their control. Rishis, Vedic rishis, are the first group who created a system in which nobody will be enslaved, neither physically or psychologically or spiritually. The first ever system created to liberate human beings happened on this great Himalayas. On this great Himalayas. That is why I always tell people, a seeker can miss anything in his life, not Himalayas. Not Himalayas. It is too much to miss. It is too much to miss. If you have eyes, you should not miss Himalayas. If you don't have eyes, at least come and have this breeze. You will have something. You will have some energy. Let me tell you just few things. I can't describe completely about this greatness of the Himalayas. I can say few things. It is spiritual incubator. Lakhs and lakhs of enlightened beings have left their body here. Basically, society binds you in these three ways. One is physical, the laws and the social rules and country politician. Second, psychological, feeding you fantasies and dreams and ruling you psychologically, giving you the idea of heroes and keeping you under their control. The so-called cinema, drama, all these artists. The third, the so-called religious figures, giving you fear and greed about the hell and heaven and keeping you under their control. The rishis have created a culture, lifestyle, through which from all these three you will be liberated. From all these three you will be liberated. First time on the planet Earth, a system to liberate human beings in the level of physical, mental and spiritual happened on this great land, on this Jnana Bhumi, on this Himalayas. Whenever a rich man dies, he leaves all his property behind and dies. He can't carry anything. If at all we can carry, nothing would have been there on the planet Earth by now. Everything would have been packed. Everything would have been packed. Nothing will be there. Long before everything would have been packed. He can't carry anything. Same way, when an enlightened being dies, he can't carry his tapas. Understand? Tapas also can't be carried. He will leave even his tapas behind. Tapas can't come with you. All the tapas power he will leave behind and leave the body. So any enlightened being, when he dies, he leaves all the tapas energy. The Himalayas is the place where lakhs and lakhs of enlightened beings have left their body. Traditionally, all enlightened beings, before they leave the body, they will come here and leave the body. That's a tradition in India. Every enlightened master, when he dies, his body is dropped in Ganga. Understand? His body is dropped in Ganga. Just by 10-15 minutes of chanting some holy word or a good peaceful word, chanting some peaceful word, the quality of water changes. Emoto proves, just 5 minutes, this guy sits and chants the word peace, happiness, immediately the quality of water changes. Understand, in this Ganges, every day millions of people stand and pray. Not one or two, not even lakh, millions. Millions stand and pray. And I can say, how many thousands of enlightened masters' body has been put in the Ganges, I don't know. That is why this whole river is energy. It is not just, please understand, Ganges is not totality of drop of waters. Ganges is not totality of water drops. It has got its own identity, its own independent intelligence. First understand, it responds. It responds. You will see how it responds. Ganges, Ganga river has got its own independent, intelligent identity. So do not think it is just a river. Same way Himalayas. Himalayas is a living energy. Millions of people, millions of enlightened masters have left their body here. So much of energy, so much of power, That is the reason it attracts more and more enlightened masters. The money attracts money. Just like that, energy attracts energy. This place is filled with energy. Its energy and its very existence, I can say, the very existence of Himalayas is a blessing. All this collective negativity which goes on around the planet Earth is nullified just by the existence of Himalayas. I can tell you one thing. I can tell you with honest pride. The Himalayas has created a culture. It has created a tradition. It has created a great literature based on which no terrorist group can be created. Just tell me, have you seen a single terrorist group which has got their base on Gita and the Vedas? No. They have created such a foolproof literature. No terrorist group has got their base on the Gita. It is given to a person as encouraging him to fight. See the paradox. Gita itself is delivered encouraging somebody to fight, but no terrorist group can be formed on the philosophy. It is given so beautifully that somebody reads and digests, simply will be transformed. The very idea to fight or the vengeance will disappear from him. Will disappear from him. Anyhow, I can be proud of one thing. Our culture is so great. The heritage is so great. The tradition is so great. No terrorist group can have their base based on the Vedic philosophy or the Vedic teachings, Vedic life and the Vedic tradition. This great culture is created in this holy land. One more thing, just in 5 cities of India, in Himalayas, just in 5 cities, 100,000 registered ashrams exist. 100,000 monasteries. Understand? 100,000 monasteries in just 5 cities. Panjaburi Sadhu Samaj, that's what they call. Just this 5 cities has got 100,000 registered ashrams. Means all other houses are just to support the ashram activities. Himalayas is for sadhus and sannyasis, the people who support their activity, they stay there, that's all. And this great holy land, whatever I speak, whatever I tell, it will be only less. One more thing, important thing. See, not only this place is a laboratory, many enlightened masters have come and left their body here. Even Shankara. From Shankara, all the great enlightened masters, they come here just to leave the body. Just to leave the body. You will not be same old person. You will not be the same person again. You will not be the same person again. You will not come down from Himalayas as the same person you go up. You will be a different person. You should be a different person. Understand? You should be a different being. You should be a different person. And moreover, the very Himalayas itself, the whole thing is created in such a way, all your chakras has to open. Nothing can be done. Nothing can be done. These 15 days, whether other chakras open or not, I don't know, but Swadhisthana will open. Swadhisthana will open. The reason, 3 feet road, your bus will be going. You can neither see this side nor see that side. This side some 3,000 feet. In the Delhi railway station, there is a small Ganapati and Hanuman temple. Small Ganapati temple and Hanuman temple. Any of you have come by train, you would have seen. There's a small Ganapati and Hanuman temple. In that, near the temple only I used to sleep. That's where I slept. This Delhi railway station is the witness. For me, I slept in that railway station only. From there I started. It took, I think, more than 9.5 months. More than 9 months, less than 10 months. It took complete trip. I did by walk. Completely by walk. Yamunotri I did not go that time, but other next trip I went to Yamunotri also by walk. Anyhow, one more thing. Unless you live like this in some places, your foolish mind will be thinking that your whole life is under your control. It is better to see and experience and understand your life is not under your control. If you live in cities, you become so designed or pre-planned. Your whole day, you know your whole day routine. The moment you get up, you know, around 6:30 you are going to have fight with your wife, and 7:30 fight with the son, and 9:30 fight with your boss, office boss, and around evening 3:30 fight with your subordinates, and around again 4:30 or 5:30 again you fight with your wife. And you know your whole routine, where you will go, where you will sit, where you will come back. You know the whole routine. Nothing new happens in your life. From morning, getting up from bed, till you go back to bed. You know your routine. That is why you feel bored. At the most, small accident can happen. That also ensued already. There is nothing new in your life. There is nothing new at all in your life. By and by, you become so self-centered, your mind starts believing life is completely under your control. Whenever something happens which is beyond your control, you are totally shaken. Your whole being is shaken. Be very clear. Here I am giving you the first basic training and understanding. Life is not under your control as you think. That is the first understanding you need to have. That's the first understanding you need to have. That will prepare you for the unexpected incidents in your life. Every one of you are going to face unexpected incidents. Your death is the first unexpected incident. Any of you are here? No, I am not going to die, Swamiji. Even though you think and strongly believe, it is not going to happen. Let it be clear. Let me tell you, all of us, not only you, I am also going to die. Let us be very clear. There is a lot of things going to happen in our life which we may not expect, which we may not predict, which we may not be even able to imagine. Traveling in Himalayas, living in Himalayas will prepare you to face your life. Things happens unexpected way. I can say the first basic quality to live an exciting life is ready to face the unexpected things in your life. Spiritual life is nothing but high intelligence and high intense passion to live. Intense excitement and passion and intelligence is what I call spiritual life. These two, intelligence and intense passion to live. Intense excitement and energy to live in an unexpected way, and intelligence to face the unexpected things is spirituality.